Howdy and welcome back to the channel. I am Country Boy and I put the sass in sarsaparilla. And this is Whatcha Figure. I know it's a little weird hearing me say Whatcha Figure. What does that even mean? It's a bit of rebranding that we're doing on this channel where I'm going to do some action figures on one portion and then I'm going to do some maybe movie reviews and whatnot on another portion. So this is Whatcha Figure and this is where I look at action figures. So stay tuned for more content like this and some other stuff as well. What are we going to be looking at today, though? Well, I'm pretty sure you probably saw the icon when you clicked on it. This is going to be the Spider-Man Retro, Green Goblin, and Mary Jane Watson. So we've already got in Green Goblin before, and we've kind of got a Mary Jane Watson before when we got the Gwen Stacy, but it just came with a Mary Jane head, so that was kind of a cheat. I didn't really like that they did that. I thought that was kind of BS. So I'm glad that they actually made a Mary Jane Watson, because that's awesome, because she's Peter Parker's love interest for the longer duration of the series and for all of history, right? So that's really cool. Green Goblin, I don't know if we really needed another one. I think the other one that we had was okay, but I guess this one's more evocative of the actual show, whereas the other one was kind of more of the comic book. That's what that one is sort of like. So I guess without further ado, let's get to looking at the packaging. And so here we have the packaging for the Green Goblin and Mary Jane Watson. Definitely the VHS packaging as we've seen before with a few of my other figures. The black symbiote Spider-Man with Carnage and Doc Ock and Aunt May and whatnot. So yeah, this is definitely the same idea. It's not the card back. It's okay. I do prefer the card backs, but it's still pretty cool. I do like the card art. The box art, I should say, that they have for these. Like, it definitely looks like the characters from the show. Definitely more so than the old toys that I have from the original retro release. So yeah, definitely cool looking Green Goblin there, throwing himself a pumpkin bomb right over Mary Jane's head there, and that is definitely more like the Mary Jane that we're used to seeing. Great Marvel Comics, pretty cool symbol up there, the Spider-Man 4+. And then yeah, some warnings down there, small parts. Do not let the kids under 3 years old play with this. And then on the side here, we got more images of the show, I guess you could say, for the figures right here too. And then on the back here, there's the images of the figures themselves, but I do believe this is just a CG rendering, not the actual figures. And then on this side here, it definitely looks like a VHS. Huge VHS, because my hands are not that small. 1 and 2. So yeah, that's what they're going for here. On the top, it says Spider-Man, the classic logo from the 90s. And then on the bottom, just a bunch of stuff that you can read if you want to. I'm not going to. So that's going to be it for the packaging. Next, let's take a look inside. There's nothing left to do but to get into the packaging.
Hobgoblin. You're not the Hobgoblin.
How observant you are! No, I'm not the Hobgoblin, Mettler. I'm the Green Goblin. Not that you live long enough for it to matter.
Ah! This goblin's got super strength. He's crushed my web shooters.
All right, so first off, here we have the Green Goblin, which I guess I would say he definitely looks more like his Green Goblin counterpart from the actual cartoon, which this is what they're going for. It makes sense because he definitely looks more like that and less like the comic book, which I suppose is what the other version that I have kind of reminds me of. That one definitely looks more like the comic book. This one definitely looks more like the actual show with the kind of like the sharper teeth and the shorter pointy ears. But before we get to him, let's get to looking at some accessories, starting with this extra head here, which is obviously his unmasked head, which is Norman Osborn, which actually kind of works. It actually looks not bad. It's not 100% what he looked like in the show, but it's pretty darn close. He definitely has a decent. I like the facial expression is pretty good too. Like, it looks like he's like the smartest man in the room and he knows it sort of look. That's what he's kind of giving me anyways. And he's got like the cornrow type like hair, almost like braided hair. That's what kind of what he always had. Him and his son Harry always had that kind of weird haircut. And it definitely works. It definitely works on this figure here. So it's pretty good. I like this head. It's a pretty good job. And then he's got this pumpkin bomb because, I mean, what is a goblin without a bomb? If it's not a hobgoblin or a green goblin, you got to have some sort of a pumpkin bomb of some sort. So yeah, it's very similar to the one that he had in the other figure that I have. I don't know if the colors are any different. I'll take a look later. We'll do a little comparison. But yeah, there you go. Pretty simple. Pumpkin bomb. Give that a toss and blow up your enemies. And then he also comes with this satchel, which houses all the pumpkin bombs. Yeah, and I think this might be even the same satchel that he came with before, maybe a different color. I'm pretty sure the other one might have been purple, and this one's green. So we'll see. Again, we'll do some comparing. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same one. That's what it looks like anyways. So yeah, it looks decent though. It's got its wrinkles and it's got its belt loop there. So not bad. And then you got your glider here. So you can put your goblin on here. You got to have a glider if you're a goblin. Similar to the pumpkin bombs. You got to have a pumpkin bomb. You got to have gliders. This symbol always reminded me of Inspector Gadget, the Mad Cat symbol. That's totally what it reminds me of. I don't know if it really does look like that. In my head, that's what it looks like. But if I can think of an image right now, if I can put it up here, we'll see if it even comes close. But anyways, I think this is definitely a better glider than the one that came with the other figure. Looks like it's got like these missiles on the sides too. And yeah, it looks like it has different, better footholds. I'm hoping this one will hold him pretty well. So yeah, looks good. It's purple. It's got its thruster in the back there. Pretty sweet. That's good job. Let's look at the figure. Here he comes. This is the Green Goblin. Looking, yeah, you know, he definitely looks like the Green Goblin. That's kind of what I remember him looking like. Got the pinky purple and the greens and that menacing face. He's got like sharp looking teeth there, almost like cat teeth, I would say. His eyes aren't nearly as big and bulgy as my other figure is. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. He's got like an ascot here. This is loose. I don't know if that was loose on the other one, if this was something that would come off or not. Got the cool belt there. Got himself got a boot cut there with the boots, the pink boots. So I guess let's get to looking at some. I just realized that the bottom part is a little bit different color than the top part. Is that how it was in the cartoon? Did he have like a dark purple for his shorts and then a lighter purple for the top, or a pink? I'm not too sure. I'll have to check that out. Anyways, we'll look at his articulation. His head goes back yay far. Pretty good, actually. That's not too bad. And then forward about that far. Pretty darn good. Actually, it's really good articulation. I'm impressed. Arms go up that far. And then he's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double jointed elbows. And as you can see, he does have pins. So this is off of an older buck, as you can tell. I think there might be some carryover from the old figure. Like the body might actually be the same. Maybe even, I guess not the legs, because the legs before were kind of a scaled legs and arms. But then he's got these. It's got the gauntlets here, or I guess the gloves. You can spin the hands all the way around, and then they go up that far and down that far for the wrists. And then he's got obviously an ab crunch here, as you can see. So he goes forward about that far. That's not too bad. And then back that far, which is pretty decent. And then he's also got the waist swivel as well too. And this belt is loose-ish. I'm not sure if it. Yeah, it's kind of loose. It's not like painted on or anything. It's not part of the mold. So it could be moved if you wanted it to. No reason to though. And then let's see, he's got the thigh cut up here, so you can swivel around there if you need to. And then you got the double jointed knees, so he can kick his own butt almost. And then he's also got the boot cut, like I mentioned earlier. And then he's also got the ankle rocker, which is pretty sweet. Oh, that's a good ankle rocker. Holy cow, that's gotta hurt. And then he goes back that far, do the ballerina pose, and forward that far. He's got really good articulation. That's pretty awesome. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for articulation. Then next up, I suppose I will bring out Mary Jane Watson, and we will see how she fares. So stay tuned.
That's her. Go answer the door, Peter.
Don't I get a last meal?
Face it, Tiger. You just hit the jackpot.
Okay, and so here is MJ herself, Mary Jane Watson. Definitely looking a lot more like she did in the actual cartoon, and less so wearing just like the other version of her I have is just basically Gwen Stacy, but you can swap her head out, which didn't look like Mary Jane really. So this is a much better version of Mary Jane for sure. But we'll start with the accessories, which are just these two hands. So she's obviously got one open hand and one fist on her right now, which is how she started, she came out. And she's got another open hand and another fist as well. So you can have 2 open hands or 2 fists, or you can have one of each. Depends on how you want. Choose your own adventure. It's your choice. I mean, they're simple. They're small hands. They're feminine hands. But let's look at the figure, I guess. That's what we're here for. Here she is. I like look at the bangs. Those are pretty sweet bangs. And she does look close to how Mary Jane looked in the show. One thing I think is missing from her is that chin dimple. She always had that chin dimple, which is very, iconic for her character, I think, at least for the cartoon. They could have maybe thrown that in there just to make it really sell the point that this is Mary Jane Watson. But, I guess it's not completely necessary. She does have an outfit that I think I do remember her wearing. At least I do remember her wearing boots all the time. That is something that I always thought was a little odd that she always wore boots. But, that's just a fashion style, obviously. So, yeah, the yellow outfit with the pink underneath and then the purpley pants and these boots. Looking decent, not too bad. I got the pockets in the back there, as you can see, with her butt looking pretty cool. So let's look at some articulation while we're at it. And her head goes down that far. Her head goes up only about that far because her hair does definitely hinder her movement. So that's obviously going to be that's what you get with someone with long hair for an action figure. That's what's going to happen. Her arms go up quite well. That's quite a ways. That's pretty well done. And then there's no biceps over or anything like that, but she does have a single jointed elbow, which goes in, over 90 degrees, which isn't bad. And then wrist rotation all the way, and then they go back like that and forward like that. And she has a bit of like an ab swivel. I guess it's not really an ab crunch. I guess there is some crunch there, so she can go back and forward there. And there's also a swivel there. There's no waist swivel like most of the male characters have. There's no waist swivel, but whatever, that's not a big deal. She does have a thigh cut though, right there, so you can see the thigh swings back and forth. And her legs, if you want to do the splits, she does them about that well. That's not too bad, not too bad. And then her knees are double jointed, and I just realized she's actually completely pinless, which is even better than my Green Goblin. So look at that. Good job, Mary Jane, I should say. Mary Jane Watson. And then she does have a boot cut. And it's actually like the boot itself that moves. That's actually really cool. I like how it actually has the shape of the boot. It's not just straight across like most boots are. And then the feet go back that far, cool ballerina pose, and then up that far, which is really well done. Better than my Gwen Stacy. She had a hard time standing up. This one, not too bad. I got her to stand up, basically first try. As he can't get her to stand up. There we go. She's standing. Stay standing. Well, that's going to do it for that part. We're going to do some comparisons, and we'll see how everything fares. Stay tuned. All right, comparison time. So we're going to toss in some characters that are the same as these guys, but, maybe lesser versions. Starting off with the Green Goblin. This guy looks kind of like the cartoon, I'd say, more than anything. So I'll bring in this guy who's definitely more evocative of the actual comic book, I would say. Which I think, yeah, they definitely reused the body type and definitely the satchel. The satchel looks exactly the same, just a different color. So this one's kind of a pinkish. That one's got definitely got the green going on. And the pumpkin bomb. Pumpkin bomb is exactly the same. Other than that, I mean, maybe the gloves, the gauntlets, they're not quite the same even. Like they've changed that as well too. The boots are even different actually. Like look how big the cuffs are on this one, and they're a lot smaller on this one. So yeah, they didn't really reuse everything. But they definitely got a whole new glider. So this glider, I like that glider way better too. And the colors on this one is better. Like this guy's got kind of like a neon green going on. He's got more of like a kind of a grass green, kind of almost pukey green, if you will, if that's a good thing. So yeah, definitely some similarities, but not a lot. A lot more new stuff on here than you would think. But one thing I noticed on this figure, though, a little disappointing, was the back has that hole in it, which I've noticed in a few figures. They've obviously used some of the same bodies, and they decide not to fill in that hole for whatever reason. I don't know why they do that. That's unfortunate. It's not terrible, but it could be better. But yeah, like I said, two different versions of the same character. Or you know what? One could be Norman Osborn, or it could be Harry Osborn if you want. There you go. You got that option. So that's pretty cool. I like that they're definitely not the exact same thing. I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with the new guy. So then let's bring in another version of Mary Jane Watson, which is, you know, not really a Mary Jane Watson. This is, like I said, Gwen Stacy, but it came with a Mary Jane head, which I thought was kind of BS that they did that. You know, that's not her body. That isn't how she should look. This is definitely Gwen Stacy from the comic books, the death of Gwen, if you will, if you remember the comic book when she died. No, it's not even, Gwen Stacy from the TV show, because she didn't wear this. But anyways, I do think she's a good looking figure. Like it's a beautiful model looking figure. Definitely looks more like a comic book version of herself. But this is definitely more in line with what the cartoon would have, which I appreciate. Why is she out of focus? Whoa, what's going on here? There you go. Get in focus there, Mary Jane. What's going on? Look at her bangs. That's definitely more like Mary Jane was. And just her face overall, she isn't like this model like this one kind of looks like. This she's got imperfections, if you will. Oh my goodness, I gotta stop getting out of focus there. Get in focus. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the comparisons. I like the new versions because they definitely are more in line with the cartoon, which is what I'm here to collect. I know the cartoon more than anything because I never really read a lot of the comic books growing up. So this is what I'm looking for when it comes to Spider-Man figures. So go ahead and give me a like and a subscribe if you like. I am CrunchyBoy9 with an underscore in there somewheres. You can check me out on other places like Twitch, Twitter, PSN, Instagram. You can just find me somewheres. I'm on YouTube here. I do a bunch of unboxings, but I'm also on another channel with my friends on YouTube called Wasted Opinions. Go ahead and give that a check out. Give that a subscribe. Give that a like. Those guys are awesome. But until next time, that's going to do it for these guys. I love me some Spider-Man, and we're out of here. Thwip, thwip. And don't forget to check me out on Twitter, PSN, Twitch, and YouTube at CountryBoy9. That's with an underscore. Thanks for watching.